we here, we live, and we are at the last session. So I want to switch it up, do a little bit different scenery for you, just something to, maybe you might be able to see the see the sunlight coming down behind me. But I just want to do something a little special for this one, where you'll be able to just learn, just put everything together and learn everything that you need to know to not only finish the semester strong, but be able to continue throughout the rest of the semester strong, throughout however much time you have left in school. Or if you watching this and you're getting ready to come to the very end of this whole entire college experience, then what do you really need to do in order to take that leap of faith into the real world, right? What do you really need to do? So what I'm here is I have my laptop, and I'm looking up some a few of the frequently asked questions. I know that's been out there. That's people been emailing me, or that I've been seeing in the comments, or just out there that that really may be able to help you. So I'm just going to be talking about that, talking about just college success in general, doing summarizing what have we been learning and what have we been talking about throughout the weeks, so you can really make sure that everything that you've been learning, that you'll be able to basically go throughout the rest of your school year, go into the new world, right, or the business world successfully. So that's sort of what we talking about. So really like a compilation, and me just things that I felt like I had I might have left out or didn't think about at the time of me recording. Okay, so that is what we have to look forward to today. So you give me a minute. I'm gonna look up in what I have in my handy dandy notebook. All right, y'all remember that? Blue's Clues. I know we got some Blue's Clues watchers out there. I know. It was there when I was growing up, but I didn't really watch it. I was more of a Nickelodeon kind of kid, watch that type of stuff. Did some Cartoon Network, those type of things. So that was a little bit more fun for me. All right, shoot. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna start off with just giving you a very, very, very brief recap of what we've been learning, and just give you two things just to think about it. And if it's any one of these that I'm going through that you don't really understand or you want to learn more about, the good thing is you'll have access to it, because you'll be able to go back and you'll be able to watch it. All right, so that's what we're gonna talk about. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back through through some of the weeks of what we have. Okay, so all right, so looking back, so we talked about, one of the things we originally talked about was the graduation trifecta model. Right, this was the model of the 3 E's. This is the GPS of college. This is what you need to ultimately be paying attention to when it comes to you being successful in college. Like, if you get off track, if anything happens, this is what you're going to be using in order to get you right back on track, just like a GPS. So we talked about, if you remember this, we talked about this as far as the 3 E's. We talked about you paying attention to your education, getting your academics straight. If there's anything you need to be paying attention to and focused on, it's going to be your education. So make sure you're doing that. But then we also talked about the second E, which was experience. Getting the experience that you need. Make sure you build your resume. Make sure you're doing internships. Make sure you're getting the skills, the knowledge, and abilities, not only for today, but the knowledge, skill, and abilities that's going to be important for by the time you graduate. Because it's possible you could be watching this as a freshman, or maybe like a sophomore or something, right? But you're not going to graduate till like another 2-3 years. So what is the world going to be like in 3 years? Not just now, but what is the world going to be working towards? Especially like if you're in a field like me, engineering, technology, where things are going to be constantly changing, right? You get a new iPhone every other year. So like things are constantly going to be changing in technology and getting better. So what are the things you need to know in that realm? So make sure that you're getting your experience up as well. So never forget that, because everything that we talked about throughout all of these weeks, it's all based on and predicated off of this model of now we talk about specific things within this model, but the whole mindset of it and where your mind and your brain need to be at this entire time is, all right, I need to make sure that I'm paying attention to these three things: this graduation trifecta, blueprint, and the last E is the E of education, experience, and then it's also expression, making sure that you're expressing yourself through organizations, through teams, through, might be through fraternity, through sorority, whatever, but you being able to express yourself, enjoy, and, just bring the fun back to college, to where you'll be able to go out, do road trips, and have fun, campus events, all those different type of things. So it's not just all work, but it's also, let me make sure that, all right, I scale back and I have some fun too. So that's really what we're looking at there. Okay. We also talked about a couple of things as far as, how to make sure that you're studying efficiently, know the right ways to study, make sure that, you're not just studying, you're not just studying any old kind of way. Make sure that that there's a few different ways I need to be studying. Make sure that I get clear on my goal. Make sure that I'm removing distractions. There's a certain way to do, you can do something, and you can do something efficiently. So make sure that you're studying the right ways. We also talked about building your resume. I don't have to talk too much about that because I always try to touch on that. If you read or know or listen to anything that I have, when it comes to college, then that building a resume is one of the most important things you need to be doing. That's a living document for you. So you're always going to be adding things, right? Add. As you build your skills up. So make sure that you're doing that. We talked about, ways to prepare for tests. So you got to make sure that, you're preparing the right way, sleeping well, doing those type of things. We talked about overcoming obstacles. What is the type of mindset you need to have to overcome the obstacles that you want. Remember, these are videos that we already shot. So go back and watch them. Okay, because you have access to it for life, all right? We talked about, and this was a huge one, we talked about what do you need to do to join a fraternity, sorority, or a campus organization. This is a huge one. This one is like so huge that, I actually shot a video of this on YouTube that, that basically, took off, and it's just constantly growing, and actually is really getting ready to go viral because it's so many people are just so interested in this topic of going Greek and what I need to do to join a fraternity, what I need to do to join a sorority, how much is the cost, how do I get in one, what is it about, so this is join a fraternity and sorority is a hot topic, especially since the movie came out, Burning Sands that you might have seen, and it's just interesting that that many people are interested in it. So long story short, make sure that you go back and you definitely watch that video as well, because that one is available to you as well. When we talk about the exact things you need to know in order to join the fraternity. What do you need to be thinking about? What do you have to do? Don't just be so excited like, oh, you had a pro band, you hype, and now you just want to join. It's a little bit more than that. That's what the other people do. That's what the surface level people do. Those are the people who, they see somebody wearing a t-shirt, they see this dude getting all the girls, or they see, this girl, she look like she popular, she the flyest, or whatever the case is, right? Or she getting attention. But be a little bit more strategic than that. So we talk about exactly what you need to do, what exactly you need to pay attention to when it comes to joining a fraternity and a sorority. So if you miss that episode, go back. All right. We also talked about how to prioritize throughout these weeks. So making sure that you know how to prioritize your goals. Make sure that you prioritize them based on impact, what's important, and not just what you feel like doing because you just want to be busy. We talked about, what are the ways you can do in order to make sure that you continue to have money in your pocket. You don't want to stay broke while you're on campus, right? So what are the different ways you can do to make money? So, we talked about that. We also looked at, what's the number one way to finish off the semester right. So how do you go into the summer right? How do you go into the winter right? We right at the point in time as this is being shot right now, we're getting ready to go into the summer, and so you got a couple months. So what do you really need to be doing in order to make sure that by the time you jump into the summer, that that you're straight, or you jump into the winter, that you're straight, you're not just resting and just wasting it. All right, so we got a question from Daniel, and Daniel says, are there specific companies that give scholarships to science students? And actually there's and you can actually find this at a lot of different places. I would say the first, if you really want to see if there's a scholarship or anything, I would say first, whatever school that you're at right now, right? Make sure that you're talking to your department first, because the people in your department, like let's say, you talking to the dean, make sure you're talking to the secretary, you talking to, who you talking to the professors, talk to them, and then see how you can figure out what's going on in that department. Because like the first thing I would do would be to talk to them, and then also, you got the bulletin boards and everything, right? Because they know whoever's in your department. The next thing I would do is I would go to career services, because if it is, it's likely too that those companies who have specific scholarships for certain majors, like a science major, that they would go to that department and say, hey, listen, we need some science majors who are willing to, come in the lab and work, or just do this, that, and the third. That's one of the reasons why I joined, I actually joined NSBE, which is the National Society of Black Engineers. And I joined them because I was just looking to get an internship or to get a scholarship, and so that's that. So maybe you could look at those type of organizations that's within your department. So I would really start there. So that would be the first two. And then the third thing I would do in order, if I'm, to find a scholarship specific to my major, would be to go and, go online and do some searches, scholarships.com, FastWeb, there's a bunch of different sites out there, and a lot of them allow you to filter it. So you'll be able to filter it, usually based on major, or usually type of scholarship, or whatever the case is, because there's scholarships that's for everything, right? You could be black, white, you could have, for certain majors, they have scholarships for being a female. There's certain scholarships for going to a certain school, that there's scholarships. So there's scholarships for a lot of different things. So try looking through those websites. Outside of that, if you're just looking for a scholarship, it don't necessarily have to be a science scholarship. There can be, you can just do some of the things that we talked about in one of the previous videos when we talked about how do you get a scholarship? How do you pay for school? So go back, look at that video, and it'll also give you some additional things that you can do on top of what we discussed here in order to help you get some scholarships for next semester, or for the next year, or or that time beyond. So hopefully, Daniel, that answered your question. I appreciate that, because that's a very good question. All right, so so I mean, that was just just some of the things to sort of catch you up on what we've been talking about lately. I'm just in general going into it. Oh, this is the conversation I was talking about. So just in general going to, no problem, Daniel. So just in general going into the summer, it's important that you go into the summer, excited, have fun, and you do all that good stuff. But making sure that right now, if you don't have any internships right now, unless you're getting ready to graduate, and even if you're getting ready to graduate right now, you still might want to be looking for some internships. But definitely make sure that by the time you go into the summer, that you're looking for things right now, as far as the internships go. Make sure this is a good time to be looking for scholarships right now for next semester. You don't want to be waiting until it gets that time and then it's too late. So if you can get like an internship this semester, get some skills, get your weight up there. And then also, if you're looking for scholarships, like, hey, I want to make sure I get some money up, make sure I get my money for my books up for next semester, make sure I'm able to pay a certain part of my tuition for next semester, then this is the perfect time to do all of that now. Don't wait and just waste away your time like so many other students do, So that's one of the best things I could do to tell you as far as that goes. Then make sure that you're doing the things that you need to be doing as far as your resume go, and getting that straight. And then outside of that, have fun, party up, do all that good stuff, be safe, don't get pregnant or don't get anybody else pregnant, all of that good stuff, because it just makes things a lot more complicated. All right, so let's see. Let me see if there's some frequently asked questions. I'm gonna try to look up something else for you. And if you have questions, continue to ask them, because this is sort of more like a free form. This is the last session that we had today. I'm very appreciative that you've been sticking with me each and every week, grinding, making things happen, coming in and out, looking for some support. And the fact that you made it to this very last piece of it, this very last video, that already says a lot about you. That says that you're committed to your success. That means you're committed to graduating school. That means that you're committed to your success afterwards, whether you decide to just start a whole new venture, or you decide to jump into the corporate world, or whatever you decide to do. But the fact that you're here, because there's not too many people in the world, and I'm not even just talking about college students, there's not too many people in the world that's going to start a program and they're going to finish it and even make it to the end, or make it to the last video. So that already should say something about yourself. You should feel proud that what you're doing and what you're starting, you're making sure that you're finishing it. So congratulations to you. So so we have another question from Pauline that says, what should I do if I need an internship but I'm not confident about my grades? So this is a question that many students ask, and the funny part is, I felt that very same way. I felt that it was points in time where I didn't feel confident in getting scholarships. I never felt confident in getting internships. I didn't even really know what an internship was, to be honest with you, because my story. I came from New York. I came from, straight out of the projects, right? Jumped into college like, all right, what's this new place? What is this? Just trying to sort of look around and sort of figure things out. And I started learning things as I went along. And luckily, I didn't get stuck into the lifestyle that I was living before college, right? Because as soon as I came as a freshman, I was doing everything I wasn't supposed to do, right? Smoking, drinking, talking to all the girls, doing everything but paying attention to my grades. But a few things changed for me, and you know the story, to where, I was able to get back on track and start learning and making sure, I should start paying attention to my grades and start getting money on campus. And then things just started getting better to where I was able to graduate, made $60K as soon as I graduated, which was more money than my mother's and father's income combined, jump into Fortune 500 companies, go back to school and get my master's degree. And things just started getting better, started doing more mentoring like this. And things just started getting better, meeting celebrities, writing books, doing speeches, and and that's how this started coming into fruition, So, but what I say all of that to say is that's where I ended up. That's it took me a journey to get to that point, but I didn't start off that way. I started off scared of the process. I started off not really knowing, not really fearful, not really confident in myself, because I didn't come in with the perfect grades. Like as a kid, when I was in high school, I never had the best. I wasn't a stupid student. I also didn't have the best grades. I was just doing mischievous stuff. So to bring it back to the question, if you're feeling a similar way to where you're not confident in yourself and your grades, but, what do you need to do to get an internship? Really, we talked about this. We talked about this in one of the previous videos, to where, in order for you to get an internship, understand first that all an internship is you being able to shadow somebody or some company or some organization, whether it might be paid or whether it's not paid, but either way, the main goal is to get the experience. And it's about you going out and finding those companies, those organizations, whoever that person is, and getting the skills, the necessary skills that you need by working with this organization, person, or whoever, so you can build your resume. Really, the whole point is to build skills and to build your resume. So how do you do that? You don't have to do that through school, which is the most common myth that many people think, is that, well, I have to be able to, I got to be able to have a certain, grade, a GPA, or I have to be able to, is the school going to allow me to do this? You don't even have to go through the school. Because at the end of the day, companies go to the school and say, hey, I need some people for this job. I need some people to shadow me and do this and do that. So you can really just skip the middleman, because the school is really the middleman. You can skip the middleman if you want, but it's more convenient if you go through the school. So, if you have bad grades, then really you don't have to you know, you don't have to be, you know, fearful of it. You don't have to be upset about it. Always just find out what the, you know, what the criteria is. And many times internships don't even have a criteria. Scholarships have more of a criteria than internships, but there's different type of scholarships too. So I would say first check with, first understand that it's not about the grades when it comes to internships. It's more about your willingness and your openness to learn, and how eager you are to get the skills that you need to get for your career field. That is the main thing. What employers care about is this person coming in with an open mindset? Can this person show up on time? You know, can this person be professional when they show up? You know, can this person, you know, be, you know, do the things that they need to do, you know, when they're given instruction? Can this person show up on time? You know, can this, so it's things like that they care about more than grades. They know that you're still in school. They know that you're still getting your grades up. So, you know, so that's all it is. So there's really nothing you need to worry about as far as the grades go when it comes to internships. So hopefully that helps, you know, that helped answer it. But if you need a more in-depth on how specifically what you need to do in order to get an internship, we talked about that in a previous episode as well. So hopefully that sort of helped you out, you know, so you're welcome. Okay, so that's what we have for today. You know, time has been ticking for us, but you know, unless there's any other questions, you know, again, I truly wish you much success. You know, it's sad that we come to an end of this program, but we have, you know, but there's other programs that you can be able to join as well. You know, a productivity program that I have, and you'll be able to, you know, if you want to join that in order to make sure that you're productive, you know, either in college or, you know, if you find yourself getting ready to graduate, you'll be able to find yourself making progress in your career, or making progress if, you know, you decided, hey, you know, college is great, but I actually want to be able to start a business too, you know. So how do you be productive? How do you get ahead in doing that? How do I be able to sustain the motivation each and every day? What do I need to pay attention to? What are my priorities? Those type of things. So if you really looking to, you know, take your game to a whole nother level outside of college and in your life in different areas, and be productive, whether it's, you know, business, whether it's corporate America, whether it's even your relationships, health, or whatever the case is, and you're like, listen, I'm ready to be more efficient and get these things done, then, you know, look into my productivity course as well. Okay, outside of that, you know, I have other books on college that you can look up. Make sure that you follow me on my YouTube channel. Make sure that you find, all this is on my website, so you'll be able to find it. But make sure I'm on Facebook, you know, I'm on Instagram a lot too, so follow me there. Ask me any questions on any of those platforms as well. I congratulate you again for being here. Make sure you continue to grind. Make sure you continue to, you know, just stay focused, and for you, as long as you continue to learn, you know, join more courses. Like, better than all my friends. Why do I have so much more money than the people that's around me? Why is my health a little better? Why is my relationships going better than the people that's around me? Well, the reason is you're doing things that other people are not doing, like watching videos like this, you know, enrolling in courses, being a part of programs, reading books, and you're taking these things in, right? You're asking questions, you know, you're taking these things in, you're writing down notes, you're actually practicing and doing these things and implementing it in your life. And then now, all of a sudden, people look up and like, oh, what happened? You know, how'd you get there? How'd you get, you know, how'd you have such a happy relationship? Wow, you've been working out. You look good. You lost some weight. You look good. You know, well, you have money. How'd you get that job? So you're gonna notice things start being better, and a lot of people are gonna notice it. All right. So congratulations, and until I see you next time, continue to focus, continue to grind, and I'll see you soon.